So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sex and Suicide podcast. We are here on Wednesday evening for our Woman Crush Wednesday. Our Woman Crush of the week is Nicolle Stevenson. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Nicolle.
You're welcome.
We has, as usual, Vinny Chase as well, our tech master, and little Miss Chris is here again.
Hi.
What a pleasure. And we also have a guest over here that prefers to remain off camera. So he's a support system for Nicolle.
But he's cute, I promise.
He is cute. Very handsome man. So, Nicolle, we met at a charity function back in October.
We did.
It was a ladies' night out, and you were a fantastic host of that event.
Thank you.
And you were kind of put in contact with me through my business partner at Final Rose Entertainment. And Matt said you had an incredible story to share. So now that you've come here, we've gone over a little bit of your story, but let's go back in time to sort of when this all started to happen and when you started to feel the emotions that you did.
Okay.
So let's start it kind of from the beginning.
All right. Well, I was born in 1980. No, I'm just kidding. I had some major life changes.
Okay.
We'll just leave it at that. And I also suffered a concussion in the summer.
Okay.
And just between the two, it just seemed to be a little bit more than I could handle. And it kind of felt like I was slowly falling into this fog.
Okay.
Where I couldn't think clearly and I had no motivation to do the things that normally brought me so much joy. And I knew there was a problem, but I didn't want to reach out for help.
Okay, so this was a deep depression you kind of slipped into.
I did, yeah.
Okay, and we're kind of taking this right off the top into your story because I know that it has a happy ending. So let's get through the experience.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. So this was back in the fall?
It was.
Okay. So you'd had a work-related injury, and you found that the concussion didn't help any. The concussion obviously made you slip into a deeper depression.
Yeah.
So head injuries do cause depression then?
They do. I can.
Okay. And then what happened? Tell me sort of what happened this fall for you.
Okay. You want me to go into the big day?
Go into the big day
All right.
and what led up to it.
Okay. So I had been dealing with somebody who was bullying me, belittling me.
How so?
Just constant phone calls and text messages and, you're unworthy and useless and, those types of things.
Okay.
Somebody that was just trying to bring me down because they were feeling down.
Was this someone that was close to you at one point in time?
Yes.
Okay.
Very. So I woke up the morning of October 18th and I was feeling very down. And I decided I was going to sit in my car. I got a coffee, sat in my car, and I started flipping through pictures on my phone because that makes me happy. Pictures of my kids and,
Sure.
those happy times.
Yeah.
But in my pictures, I also had a lot of screenshots of conversations that I'd had with this one person.
Okay.
And obviously that made me feel worse.
Right.
So I went to a place that I knew I would be alone and nobody would find me for a while, and decided that I would attempt to take my life.
Okay. So you're feeling obviously really blue that day and felt like, what was the feeling? What made you feel that this was no longer a place you wanted to be?
The feeling of hopelessness, uselessness, that there was nothing else to look forward to, that it was never going to get better. There was no future. And I couldn't think of another way to be happy. And so this was the easiest solution for me.
Okay. So on that day, when you felt like there was no way out, what did you do? Tell me your steps in the process.
Okay.
I know this is hard, but I kind of want.
I can do it. It's good. It's therapeutic.
Sure, that's what this is all for.
I need to heal me, right?
100%.
So I went to this place where I knew I would be alone for a long time, and had a few beers, and then drank several ounces of whiskey. Took all the prescription pills that I had on hand, as well as several others. So they believe there was over 200 pills that I took in, and drank half a bottle of Nicolle.
Wow. That's incredible.
All within about an hour and a half.
Within an hour and a half, you did all of this. And then what happened?
Well, I had a bath. And then...
what was your thought process behind that,
Yeah.
Math?
I just wanted to relax.
Yeah.
I just wanted to I just kind of wanted to slip out, you know. And if there was going to be a mess, I wasn't sure how my body would react to all
Everything.
that I put into it. Then it would be an easy cleanup. I never wanted anybody to feel like, you know, they had to mop up a mess afterwards. So I remember being in the tub and pulling myself out of the tub and crawling into bed, and then I don't remember anything after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, so you were unconscious, obviously.
I was, yes.
What was your next memory?
Waking up in the hospital.
And what was that like?
It was terrifying. I honestly felt like I can't do anything right. I can't even do this right. So it wasn't even a happy moment.
But you remembered the fact that you tried to take your own life at that moment?
Yeah, I did remember. My sister was there and my parents were there. And of course my parents had this look of, you know, complete devastation because they had no idea. They knew that I was struggling, but they didn't know it was getting to this point.
Right.
And my sister, who's kind of my person, was there, and she immediately started cracking jokes and made me smile. Yeah. And I'm sure everybody else thought it was completely inappropriate, but that's my girl. That's my sister.
Right. So that made you have an appreciation for life again in that moment?
Yeah, I smiled.
Good.
I did. It was a weak smile, but it was there.
Right.
Yeah.
So with family and everything in the hospital, how was, obviously we talked a little bit before this, how was the treatment?
It was there was no sensitivity to the issue. I mean, at that point, all I wanted to was feel comfort, to be told that it was going to be okay, that, you know, things are going to get better, and it wasn't like that at all. When I woke up, I was in the emergency room.
Yeah.
And then I was
Which hospital?
University.
Okay.
Which doesn't have a psych ward.
No, it's Victoria Hospital, right?
So I was told from the very beginning that they were going to try to transfer me over as soon as a bed became available, but that never happened. So I was moved into a room, a seclusion room by myself. When they wheeled me in, I saw them taking everything out. So they were removing anything that
you could hurt yourself with.
Right. Anything that was on the wall, they took off, which again made me feel like I'd done something really, really bad. Like I was being punished. And I had somebody sitting outside my door 24/7.
Keeping like an eye on you.
Keeping an eye on me, making sure I didn't run, I guess.
Did you feel like a prisoner at that?
Yeah.
I bet.
Like I was, you were bad and you're going to stay here for a long time. And it was 4 days before I spoke to a psychiatrist.
4 days they kept you in that room?
Yep. I was in there 4 days. Now, thank God I have a very supportive family, but I cannot imagine if somebody didn't have that support and they were in there by themselves for 4 days. I mean, you're in your darkest hour and now all you have is your thoughts. There's no TV, there's no phones, there's no nothing. And so now all you're thinking is the worst, right? Like there's nothing to bring you up.
So what would you suggest? I mean, if you could make a difference in that area, what would you suggest would have made you feel better in that moment?
Just a more comfortable environment. I mean, they had said that I was basically that I wasn't going to harm myself anymore, but that's not how I felt like I was being treated.
Right.
But just a warm environment, like maybe a picture on the wall or something.
I was going to ask, like,
a bathrobe would have been nice.
Right, yeah.
No
you were describing the seclusion room, so I just to get a mental picture of it, like, what was it? Was it just like a completely barren room?
Yeah, it was 4 walls, and on one side, 3 walls, and on one side was a window.
Wow.
So.
And that's so that they could watch you, right?
Felt like a monkey. Like people were
I
walking by
that.
constantly. Yeah, because I'm still in emerge at this point. Very busy, high traffic. So people are kind of looking in, like what's going on in there. And at least I had a bathroom that I could close the door. But I've heard stories where there's literally a toilet in the middle of the room where they had
crazy to me to imagine that she was watching them take everything off the walls, remove everything.
Yeah.
When you visually see that after you go through something like that, I think that's,
How did you feel when you woke up? I know that's terrible, but did you feel like you were going to harm yourself again, or did you feel like you wanted, like, what was that feeling?
I just wanted to get out.
Yeah.
Like, just, what do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? Just get me out of here.
I just felt trapped.
Yeah. And I mean, I am very claustrophobic.
Right.
So feeling that sense of I can't get out of here was terrifying, on top of everything that I was already feeling. So.
No kidding. Wow, that's incredible. So 4 days, and then where did you go after the 4 days?
Well, I was still there for another 2 days, I believe. So after I spoke to a psychiatrist, then the ball started to roll a little bit. And then I could go outside and have a 15-minute break from my room, which was kind of like recess. Like, I'm just going to go outside and run around until the bell rings.
Right.
And after... before I was released, I had a follow-up appointment with a psychiatrist, and was going to be contacted by somebody from the community that could help me.
And how did you feel that process was with a psychiatrist? Was it more of like a screening, like, okay, you're good to go now, or was it like a dealing with the issues behind what led you there?
There was no dealing.
Right.
It was the psychiatrist that I spoke to at the hospital basically wanted to find out what the causes were.
Right.
Like, why are you feeling this way? But it wasn't like a therapy. Like, like, how can we fix this and make sure it's not going to happen again? And even the follow-up appointment with the psychiatrist was kind of the same thing. Like, more diagnosis than how can we treat this?
So did you feel it was something that was like worthwhile for you? Like, did you feel like you benefited from it, or was it more of a just, okay, like, I have to kind of pass this test to get out of here?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I need to say the right thing so she doesn't keep me any longer.
Right. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So it wasn't even really treatment. You were just focused on what you can say to get home.
That's what I was focused on. Yeah.
I wonder if they even know that. Like, people are probably just going to say what they need to say to get out of here.
I'm sure that they do.
So why is it that it took 4 days for a psychiatrist to be able to see you? Is it just a matter of resources? Is it
so initially, because they wanted to transfer me to LHSC, that's where the treatment is, and apparently more comfortable beds. I don't know, I haven't been there. But that was what they wanted to do. They wanted to transfer me, but they just said, there's nothing available. I'm sorry, we're going to have to wait another day. We'll come back to you. And really, I had to ask, like, is there something happening? Am I going to talk to somebody?
Yeah. It's a lot of responsibility to place on someone who just went
kidding.
through what you went through.
And even, I mentioned this when I was on CTV last week, even to ask for a shower, because I literally came in and I was covered in my own vomit. Like, I had vomited in the bathtub, and I was gross, and even if I hadn't, it had been 2 days since I had a shower. And to even ask for that, everybody was looking around thinking, okay, how do we handle this situation? Where does she go? Who goes with her? So I had to go up to, the 6th floor from the 1st floor to find a shower. And
so you didn't even know that?
No.
They didn't even have any of it really figured out?
No.
This can't be the first time that they've dealt with something like that.
That somebody wanted a shower? I'd hope not.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
The whole place just reeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Nicolle, you're a very successful woman, right? I mean, we were just talking about this organization that you're a leader of, right? Mm-hmm. Can we talk about that for a minute?
You want to talk to the Mamas in Business group?
Well, let's talk about everything that it is that you're a part of, because I just want...
How much time do we have?
you got a full hour here, so you just go as long as you want. But I really want people to be able to see that, you were just looking from the outside in, it probably looked like you were in a pretty good spot, right? Mm-hmm. So this can happen to anyone. This doesn't, there's no prejudice with mental illness, right? Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a bit about sort of your background?